morning, everyone. My name is James Jimmy Hills. Your host here with Java with Jimmy. Before I get started with my guest this morning, and we talked about this with the mayor last week. She is scheduled. I haven't got confirmation yet for her to come on Wednesday for her monthly appearance on first Wednesdays. I find myself speaking again about issues of violence. There was another homicide last night and another life loss. You all know that this is a space that I realized this morning actively as an advocate 20 years. And so I'm going to reserve commentary because I do have a guest this morning just in our first couple of seconds of conversation with some joy. And I'll probably tell you about it when I bring her on screen just to kind of talk about some joy after I have to acknowledge that we have another life loss. But I'm going to reserve commentary for another time. But please keep me, and because what I mean by that is you see I'm struggling because we kind of was near the helicopters and stuff last night. And it's right around the corner from me, and it's the neighborhood in which I grew up. So it's very interesting, but she has given me grace and to be able to just be real, authentic, and acknowledge it. And with that being said, I have a young lady that's coming in that I'm sure we'll be able to speak to, and this might be a real transition. But Sasha, if you don't mind, I would like to, first of all, welcome you to the Java Cafe. Thank you for a couple of minutes of joy there. You made me fall out to kind of pull me in a little bit. But before we start with the wonderful work that you do, we understand that there are a lot of dynamics that lead to issues of gun violence. One of them is definitely poverty, and that is adjacent to what we're going to talk about today, food deserts and what you do. And so if I may ask, from your experience in this decade of work, do you see a correlation with what you do as an assistance to supporting families that are dealing with poverty and food deserts and trying to find the next meal? If we could sort of transition from that. And again, I got confidence just from our first few minutes before we went live that you can speak to this.
Yeah. And I mean, I appreciate how you started the show. That stuff is real and it happens and you need to acknowledge it, even if you don't know what to do with it yet. To answer your question, I'll start with why I got into this work. My husband started farming and I was working in tech and I was helping him start the farm. And I've always had food, right? We all have at times. And I sat around the table with my family and it's always been important to me. But as Dave started the farm, it really, and we built this community around it, and it really drove home food being the core of family, of love, of community, of care. And that is one of the ways, I mean, as you're at poverty, it's a systemic thing. Poverty, food insecurity, violence, all of those things go together. But food, when you have it, when you have healthy, good food that nourishes your body, it nourishes your soul, it brings joy. It brings people together. It reminds us all where we're connected. And I think, I mean, this is a thought I'm having right now, and certainly not based on any.
I do it often. So go ahead, feel free.
Right. But if you're missing that, if you are missing that stability, security, and love of food, like, or if you have it, like if you imagine every day being around the table with family and eating good, healthy food, it's harder to imagine all the things you're missing that lead to violence, right? I mean, I imagine you are missing a lot when there is violence, when you are creating violence, when you are part of violence. So to me, food is just, it's central, it's core. It creates the foundation for healthy communities, not just physically, but in every way.
I definitely appreciate it. And there are a lot of dynamics to which you spoke that we don't have the time right now to unpack. And I want to be fair to, why we're here today. And I want to also say, Sasha, I was just in Daily Table last week looking for potatoes. The guy helped me. He only had the red ones, and the bigger red ones, and I was looking for the little small ones for my little seafood boil. And I used to frequent Codman Square every, other week. And so I can unequivocally say that I am very much aware and have benefited from the work that Daily Table has done. And so we're here today to talk about the 10 years of work, the resources, and what's going on. You talked a little bit about the farm and why you got into the work, but the transition either into Daily Table, or was that the foundation of Daily Table? Tell us about for those that don't know.
Sure.
Tell us, about Daily Table.
Sure. So I'm the current CEO of Daily Table. I started in February.
Oh, okay.
Yep. The organization was founded 10 years ago. The first store opened in 2016, but the work started before that.
Yep.
And it was founded by Doug Rao. And Doug Rao was the former president of Trader Joe's North America. So he brought Trader Joe's to the East Coast. He essentially made it national. Was there 30 years, had tremendous success in the industry, was sort of a rock star in that industry. He retired and he went back to a program by Harvard, an advanced leadership program where they bring these past execs in for their second role in life. How can they take their experience and do something positive for their communities? And that is where the idea of Daily Table was born for Doug. And so he founded it, and I got to know him as that was happening. So I was working adjacent in an organization called Food for Free, which is a food rescue organization based out of Cambridge, now Somerville, that works closely with Daily Table and is deep in the hunger relief. Let's get healthy food to people and bring community and love. So I watched Doug as this started with the Codman Square store in 2016. And then we opened Roxbury. We opened Central Square, Cambridge, where I'm just outside of in 2021. So just after the pandemic. And then last year we opened Mattapan and Salem. So the organization has grown a lot. We are a community grocery store. We're a nonprofit masquerading as a community grocery store.
Yeah.
The whole idea of Daily Table, similar to Food for Free, is everybody deserves healthy food, access to healthy food. And the reality, as I'm sure all of us know it, at any income level, is food is expensive, particularly produce.
And
Particularly now, it's crazy. It is crazy the way the prices have increased over the last 5 years. And Daily Table was here and keeping its prices low throughout that. So it's not just access to healthy food. It is about, so at Food for Free, we rescued food and distributed it mostly to food pantries, meal programs, organizations that provided food for folks who needed to access it for free, which is always there and always will be there. There is also, and Daily Table, this is a spectrum. The people that we serve at Daily Table often use the food pantries Food for Free serve. Many of them won't. So a lot of people are not going to take free food for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
They want to provide for themselves and their families. And they have been, but unfortunately without Daily Table, they're often doing that without healthy food because you can't afford it. If you have $1 and need to make it stretch, you buy high calorie, low nutrition foods because the high nutrition foods
high sodium,
high sugars, something that'll, fill your kids' stomachs, but unfortunately won't necessarily give them the nutrition they need because you simply can't afford it. So Daily Table was about how can we fit into the world that people are living in where they're buying their food, they're taking care of themselves, but they want healthy food. They want to buy healthy food for their families. And so Daily Table are these grocery stores. They're small grocery stores. They are so rich in produce. I mean, beautiful, beautiful, happy displays, but a lot of produce, a lot of proteins. Everything in the store essentially meets certain nutrition requirements around salt, sodium, and sugars to keep it healthy. So you can go in there, you can feel good about whatever you're buying. The prices are exceptionally low, typically 20% less than our competitive supermarkets. And then on top of that, our SNAP users, people who use SNAP, the nutrition program to purchase food. If you use SNAP, you get half off all produce, which is already exceptionally low cost. So I worked at the counter one day to learn how to use the register, and it was mind blowing. This was in Central Square. People come up, these huge baskets of produce. I'd ring them up. I'd be shocked by how cheap it was. Then they'd pull out their EBT card and I'd get to press this button and it would cut that low cost in half. And people could afford with joy to bring healthy food home to their families and cook those meals.
It is hugely important. And at one point, if I remember right, wasn't there some sort of advantage or point system that you guys had? Or maybe it was, because I've spent some time on Snap during my transition of becoming an entrepreneur. And there, I remember something with that benefit, but I thought there was something else at Daily Table.
We used to have cards that you could punch that you'd get something off after you had enough punches. We switched that over. So
okay.
We had that. Now we have what's called a loyalty program. So if people sign up and just give their phone number as an identifier, every time they shop, they get points and they can earn cash back over time with that. We hire, Daily Table is all about community. To me, food is all about community. The people we hire in each of our stores come from within those communities. They are those communities. They know what kinds of foods we want. So they help articulate to our procurement team, what should we be bringing in? They shop at the stores. I shop at the stores. It's a joy. I mean, you said you've been in there. It's bright. Yeah. It's a happy place to be. The staff are wonderful. And to me, that's what food and food sharing should be about, right? It should be a joyful experience.
I definitely agree. And it's funny now that you mentioned that there's the influence of Trader Joe's. Now that you mention it,
you can see it, right?
The setup, the way you walk in and the fruits and vegetables in the middle on the box. And so I definitely see that influence there. Sasha, let me ask you, how do you sustain this to be able to supply the food at a discounted rate and do what you do and still be able to pay the people? I know you said you're a nonprofit masquerading as a food store, but how do you keep things afloat?
So because we're a nonprofit. So it's about fundraising.
Hold on. Being in a nonprofit world, I asked, how do you keep things afloat? You said because we're a nonprofit. Oh, there's a lot of CEOs right now that are going to be like, wait, what?
Right. And actually, right. And that doesn't mean that this is easy. What it means, so a couple of things. So there's a whole bunch of things we do to make this work, to try to continue to make this work, because it is challenging, particularly right now with the high cost of foods. That has really made it tougher for us. But we start with sourcing. We have certain partners that work with us that care about what we're doing. So Little Leaf Lettuce, for example, is out of Devens, Massachusetts. Hydroponic lettuce, really popular in Whole Foods everywhere. They believe in our mission and they make a deal with us and we get a flat rate on their lettuce. So we sell boxes of Little Leaf for $1.99. You cannot find that price anywhere. Typically it's $3.69, sometimes $4.99, sometimes over $5. Always $1.99 at Daily Table. That is through a partnership of a like-minded organization. So that's one thing we do, is try to find like-minded organizations. We do buy our food at the Chelsea Produce Market, just like most supermarkets. So it's about building relationships with the vendors, and ideally they're getting on board with our mission and giving us discounts. Now that isn't always happening, right? So oftentimes we're paying what anybody else would pay, and we're just not getting a lot of margin on that. So supermarkets make their money on the margin. You buy something for 70 cents, you charge $1 for it.
Yeah.
We have a strict philosophy around how we're pricing. The idea is let people be able to afford this. So some things we're able to make our margin on if we get a really low cost, like Little Leaf Lettuce. But oftentimes, our bananas for a long time were 39 cents a pound, and we lost money on bananas. We made a decision to do that. So we, in part, make money through selling food. That's about 70% of our revenue.
Okay.
Any nonprofit would love that, right? To have 70% of your revenues coming in through earned income, they call it.
Yeah.
But the rest is fundraising. And we've got a lot of growth to do there. I mean, when Doug started these stores, he thought they would be able to break even. He had some assumptions about being able to get certain free food that didn't pan out. So it took a while for us to go, you know what, we got to fundraise to make this viable.
Yeah.
And we're really, And I know in terms of working, I work for Food for Free, right? It was a pure fundraising, hunger relief organization, and people care. They gave us the money we needed. Organizations, Takeda is a huge funder of both organizations, lots of individuals.
Brother Emerson Foster.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
so many people out there that really care. So it can be done. It can be done. The way things work is a community comes together and says, hey, poverty, that's all of our problems. Food insecurity, that's all of our problems. That affects all of us. And there are corporations, there are individuals, foundations that sole purpose is, how can I take my resource, which is money, and partner with another resource, which is Daily Table, which has the food and has the access to the community? How can those two partners come together to make a healthier community? And so that's how we make this work, is finding those vendor food partners that can give us discounts, and finding those partners that have their resources money. It's not power, it's money, right? They're saying, I want to help. I have money. What do you have? I have a store. How can the two of us come together to help make this a healthier community? And we rely on people and companies and foundations that have that partnership approach and want to participate with us and believe everybody should be able to access healthy food.
You saying that reminds me of a great guy that runs, brother Manuel, or Manny, or some people call him Manu, from Everybody Gotta Eat. He has this philosophy where he makes, I mean, his lobster tails and everything, and he makes it affordable. You know what I mean? And he also believes in the philosophy of bringing folks together over food. Let me ask you, sort of in a real-time question, how has it been since we've experienced inflation post-pandemic? I know you've only been there since February, but you have a reference point from your former position, and you have a relationship with Doug.
Yes.
And so how with what you said, is there a different level of challenge with what we're dealing when it comes to the economy and the impact on affordable food, healthy? Well,
100%.
even now the unhealthy isn't affordable.
That's true.
Anymore.
That's true. It's affordable food, and without a doubt.
I'm saying it's not affordable because McDonald's now, you know, I had a craving for some nuggets the other day.
It happens.
And I got the total and I said, so even unhealthy isn't affordable. We used to say, you know, affordable is the 69-cent cheeseburger that's quick, but
that
so how do you, yes.
Right. So it was interesting. So I came, as I mentioned, prior to Daily Table, I spent 10 years at Food for Free. And I was at Food for Free as as the pandemic hit, and as the food inflation started to go up. And what we saw on the free food side of the world, and I don't think this is a secret to anybody, it was all over. I mean, the amount of people showing up at food pantries and needing free food went through the roof. I mean, it just, and part of that was food inflation. Part of it was the pandemic, and in food inflation uncovered what already existed. Right, was food insecurity, was people not being able to access healthy food. And one thing that happened during the pandemic that was probably a good thing is some of the stigma was removed from, I can't afford to have a healthy meal. It was like, no, you're right, you can't, nobody can, don't be ashamed. And so we saw these hunger numbers go up like that. And I will say they were probably pretty close to that before. People just understandably weren't comfortable coming out and being like, I need help. And the pandemic pushed a lot of people into either having to or being willing to say, I need help. And so we saw the need skyrocket. That need was there. That need was primary. I mean, it got worse, but it was there.
Yeah.
So we saw that happen. And so the food pantries have been hit really hard. Daily Table, Daily Table is there and supports two things. It gets people healthy food. It also takes some weight off the food pantries. So people who use SNAP, we would always at a food pantry see at the end of the month, way more people, because they'd run out of their SNAP dollars. They'd be using it to buy food during the month. It would run out and they'd go to food pantries at the end of the month. Daily Table allows people to use their SNAP dollars all month and have money at the end of the month. But the pressure on our costs has been as intense as everybody else. We buy food to sell it, and we've kept our costs low. But the reality is that took a toll on us as an organization, just like as if we're a family, right? We are now spending way more money on the food. We have passed some of that pricing on, but nothing like what you see at most supermarkets.
Yeah.
So what that means is we need to fundraise more. We've got to fundraise more to keep up with what's happened over the last 5 years. But we have done everything we can to make sure that regardless of what's happening in terms of inflation, that people can walk into Daily Table and feed their families, because that's why we're here. There would be no point in us fully raising our prices so that we could get our margin, because we'd be Shaws. There'd be no point, right? We have to make this work.
Did you say we'd be Shaws? And any other what I call sometimes say comparable in legacy media, legacy markets, legacy food providers.
And all I mean is they charge retail. It's normal.
Oh, I got you.
Everybody's doing it. They're making money. They're a for-profit. They have to do that. We are not. So we can't, there's no point in us being here if we're going to just get our money back all through the food. It doesn't work that way. That's why we have to be a nonprofit.
And that was the point of that statement, to say that you work you work very differently from the for-profits, all of them. Stop and Shop, a couple of other ones might, I think the America's, well, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So Sasha, we hear part of your vision as the new CEO coming up just on about 7 months or so. What is your vision for the next 10 years of Daily Table?
Given your experience over the world, we're gonna take over the world.
Like you remember Pinky and the Brain?
No,
you don't remember Pinky and the Brain, the cartoon?
I don't know. I know. Never know any cultural references. I just don't. Forgive me. I grew up under a rock.
Well, that was that Pinky and the Brain. Anyway, so but you did reference.
Maybe I do know. Maybe I do know and didn't know. This was
the guy from I can't remember his name. The one that was the guy that had the little mini me.
Austin Powers.
There we go.
See, I guess I know something. So my vision. So I'll tell you what. So one thing, and this already existed at Daily Table. We pay people minimum wage. We care about our employees. When I left the corporate world and got into nonprofit, a big part of that for me is culture. I saw my husband start the farm. What I saw, I was still working in the corporate world. I would work with him on the farm on weekends. And what I saw was this life where his job was his life. Like he likes growing food. He likes sharing it with people. There wasn't this distinction. He was living every day. That's what he was doing. He was living in his community. He was improving his community. And that's how he made a living. And I wanted that. I didn't know how to get that, but I knew that made sense to me. I think that's how it used to be way, way back in the day.
Yep.
I grew up kind of like a Little House on the Prairie. I wanted that simple life. And so I quit not knowing what I was going to do. I went back to school. I wound up in nonprofit and I wound up leading an organization, which was great. And I was able to, food for free as well. I came into a really great culture, but I was able to enhance and grow it and create, to me, these nonprofits that I lead, Daily Table included. And again, they start with great cultures. We are not just here to serve people, and we're never going to serve people at the expense of our staff. We are part of the community. We are creating a space where people like myself and team members at Daily Table can make their jobs part of their lives, can come, get up each morning, make a living, but do it by taking care of their communities and engaging with their communities and being a part of helping, making sure we have healthy communities. I think that is so critical to any business. Food for Free was so successful in its growth, I think, because we had this team of really incredible people who loved coming to work, who weren't working. They were, and we tried to pay good wages for a nonprofit. And we tried to make sure that they weren't stressed out all the time. That's no point in trying to make other people's lives better by laying it all on your staff. So I really believe in creating spaces. And I think it has, and I imagine there's a lot of data on this too. I know I've seen things on Facebook and LinkedIn, like if you have happy employees, you are much more productive.
Yep.
And so, as I said, I walked into an organization that already cares very much about their employees, but we've grown very quickly. We have 5 stores now. I want to build up bandwidth. I want to make sure we all feel good coming in, have the balance that we need so that this is not a job that stresses us out, but it's something that feeds us, just like food.
No pun intended. I was going to say no pun intended.
Pun intended, I think. But then with that, honestly, Daily Table would like to go national. We would like to be everywhere. There are communities in every state, in every city that need access to healthy food.
Absolutely.
affordably. And I believe that this model can do that. And so over the next 10 years, I mean, I don't think we'll cross the entire country in the next 10 years, but I expect that we'll be in several other states and ideally in more communities within Massachusetts. I think we want to go to a new city, a new geography to prove that this model is not just a Boston-based model. It's something that can and should work everywhere. I mean, I think we can change the food system. We can fit right into how people work today. They shop, they buy their own food, they use SNAP. SNAP's an incredibly effective government subsidy. It's worked wonderfully. Daily Table leverages that. We want to go into these places and take advantage of what's already there and make sure everybody everywhere can access healthy food and can feel good about it, can walk into a happy store, buy their own food, take care of their families, choose what they want to eat. That's my vision. And I believe we do that by having a really healthy, strong staff community, team that feels good and that is ready to do whatever is needed.
It's as we get ready to close, I can attest not only to benefiting from Daily Table and what it does, but, and I can't, his name escapes me right now because this is going back some years, but there was a young man that I used to work with that was committed to Department of Youth Services. And I remember going into Daily Table the first time seeing him. And it is,
he was working there.
He was working there. Back there, I think it was behind like the glass. You could see him like wrapping meat. He came out. He looked. He was like, he got my attention. I was like, and when he came out, he had on his white coat. It was appropriately dirty, and he was working. And you see a different demeanor. And that wasn't like going in one week and then he's gone. Like the few times back when I used to go to Cobham Square a lot, I would always see him there. So that speaks to sustainability. And so I can not only attest to the benefit, but I can also attest to what you talked about with the employees, because back in the day, he was an interesting brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we understand. We know a lot of the people that we're hiring need support to keep those jobs, need support to get those jobs, but they are a part of the community. And we have some really incredible staff, and the loyalty and their appreciation of the organization and what they get to be a part of is part of what makes Daily Table what it is.
I want to just kind of nudge you a little bit. One of the Java family members who is so like everything, my shirt, my little coffee cup today, she just a little thing in the back. You and merch is coming, guys.
I trade you a Daily Table shirt.
I actually already have one.
Okay.
The green one.
Buy your own, yeah.
No, but we'll work on getting you a shirt. But Miss Teresa, who is out in Worcester,
I see that
she's trying to,
There is not one today. There is no Daily Table in Worcester today, but I cannot imagine that someday there won't. I can only imagine that someday there will be.
Sasha, I really enjoy talking to you. And again, so before you go, I want to make sure that folks know we have the website hyperlinked in the comments as always. And so you can go hyperlink to Daily Table. One of the first buttons that you see on the website is donate. And I tell you all the time, $2, $3, $5 here and there, little things help. And so if you would like to donate, though, a lot of us might need to take advantage of what.
Right. We are here either to get you food, if you can, and I'll tell you one other thing, Jimmy, if people go shop there, they are donate. I mean, that is part of our income. You shop there, you are supporting the next person that needs food. So I don't care how much money you make, shop there. We are for everybody. First of all, I want to just be super clear about that. I shop there. We all shop there. Please shop there, because that is supporting. If you have $5, if you have $5,000, donate, but do not feel obligated to donate. Please take advantage of the service.
So there's a way that there's a way that Daily Table has a unique way of donating is just go shop. Practice some good, healthy retail therapy while supporting the next. What did you say?
Support the next person, right? Pay it forward.
I like that, Sasha. I like your energy. It was so
apropos.
It was so apropos, I think, for you to be with us today and just kind of help sort of also settle me. And so I definitely appreciate it. And folks, don't forget to go to the website, go to the store, Washington Street in Common Square in Dorchester, the other Washington Street in Roxbury in Nubian Square. And also you said Salem, River Street in Mattapan,
Central Square, Mass Ave,
Central Square in Mass Ave. And so
then Salem.
In Salem. And so again, one of the things that really stood out was that, you know, though this is the work is to support those that may sometimes have challenges in obtaining healthy food, what you can do if you don't have a challenge yourself to go shop there and make a donation. And when you're in there, and if you have the ability to, after you pay for your groceries, find out who you can give a check to and make a donation to Daily Table. And so, Sasha, thank you for being with us. Keep us abreast if you have any events or anything coming up. We know the holidays are coming, and I think it's so important that people, you know, the last couple of years, I've actually, just like with violence in the summer, let me retract that. Before the pandemic, definitely in the pandemic, and even post-pandemic, when it comes to the context of the holidays are coming, when it comes to food challenges, for some, it's not a holiday every day. This is a daily
struggle. That's why you got Daily Table.
Sasha, get off my screen. I really, it sat there and it never ever clicked.
We just figured that out right now.
Sasha, thank you for being with us today. You got me up here stuttering and no, I mean it's definitely legit.
Jimmy, thank you for putting us on here. I mean, one of the things we need to do is get the word out, and you got a great following, and we are super grateful for you for bringing us on here and sharing us with your community.
Sasha, where are you from originally? I just heard a little twang.
No, I'm from Acton, Massachusetts.
Where'd you go to school?
BU.
I'm
Where's local.
Your husband from?
Pardon me?
Where's your husband from?
He's from Bridgewater. West Bridgewater.
I just heard something when you said.
I think I just, talking to different people,
Yeah. Okay, random, but anyway. Sasha, thank you for being with us. And again, keep us abreast if you do a yearly fundraiser or stuff like that.
You got it, Jimmy.
And let us we'll help get the word out like we did today.
Thank you.
I appreciate for you being with us.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Folks, this is something that if you don't have, all of us need to figure out a way to take advantage of it, because what did I just do? Okay. I just did something and we're still here, but can somebody confirm for me if we still here? I think I may have hit something. Anywho, take advantage of what Daily Table has to offer and donate. Either send, $5 via their website or go and shop there. I go there willingly looking for stuff. And I'll be honest with you, it's are we conditioned to go to the big places first? Yes, we are. Sometimes I go to the big places and can't find what I want. And Daily Table has some good stuff. I don't know what the name of the fruit is, but it looks like a star. Well, I don't know, but I seen that there the other day, like one of those exotic fruits. Like, check out Daily Table, folks. We're going to get ready to go. And we will be back. Okay, we're still here. Thank you, Sister Debbie, Michelle D. Smith, the good. Thank you all for confirming. Y'all can hear. You're still here. Okay, good. And I appreciate all of you being in the room. I see she's been with us before, but I thought I saw Tiff Williams. Thanks for joining us today. Those of you that may be on Twitter, on Instagram, Nisi, I meant to reference to your comment, and others that are on Instagram. Thank you for being with us today as we talk about the benefit of Daily Table. I think it may be star fruit. It wasn't star fruit, Ma. Because I think it definitely wasn't star fruit, though I can't unequivocally remember what star fruit is. It wasn't star fruit. With that being said, we're going to get ready to wrap up. Tiff, thank you so much. Please invite others to be a part of the family. I'm going to challenge folks. So dragon fruit, no, It wasn't dragon fruit. It was smaller and it looked weird. It's like red and orange. And if you cut it, it got this little pulpy thing that comes out. No, not light green. It's like the light green one, Miss Teresa, but it's orange and red, and it looks almost like it could be from space. I'll go to Daily Table and take a picture at some point. Begins with a P. Come on, y'all. We're gonna figure it out before we go today. Y'all not keeping me on until past 11 o'clock. And the waxy outer coat. It wasn't waxy. It. All right. We're not going to be able to figure it out today. Space. Ma, you're forcing it. Miss Teresa, I know what a passion fruit is, Jesus. My mother said space fruit. All right, Ma. We're going to leave it there. I'll figure out how to get the Daily Table and take a picture of it, or I'm going to research online exotic red and orange fruit. Let me do it real quick. I'll give y'all 2 more minutes. Red and orange fruit. Red and orange pulp like fruit. Y'all can go if y'all want. This has become a personal challenge of me to figure out pulp fruit. I can't type. They giving me a whole bunch of orange. Never mind. Milagro, you got jokes. Milagro said, ask Alexa. Alexa is due to make her announcement in 3 minutes. And so we're going to get off of here. Ma said, we want to know too. I'm going to figure out what this thing is. It's like the green fruit that is consumed a lot in the Latino community, where you cut the little thing off and you eat the pulpy thing. It looks like that, but it's red and orange, and the little things on it all around it. The color in the inside, I want to say is like the pulp in the green thing, Lasagna. Sharon Cornelia says she misses Alexa. All right. I'm getting off of here. Folks that are joining for the first time or whatever, this is what we do sometimes. We're on the right path. Hold on. Shay, it's a little prickly, but it's not hard. Who said that? Miss Teresa. How y'all spell that? Lyche. Lychee. Jesus, yes! I almost cussed. Shay, we got to figure out, you win a $50 gift card today. She was the first one to said it before y'all get to fussing. Hold on. Shay, yes. This is terrible. All right, thank you for joining the Java Cafe. Listen, y'all help me today. This little distraction here about a darn lychee. It took us, that's terrible. Thank you. That was fun. Tomorrow morning, we continue our conversations here in the Java Cafe. We'll be back at 10 a.m. Lasagna said you sent us on a goose chase. I was determined to figure out what it was. And this is what happens when we work and do teamwork together. So get down to Daily Table and buy your lychee. Lasagna says she was too. Listen, I miss this of what we used to do back in 2020. Things are evolving and stuff like that. But when we have these moments, Miss Teresa said, now go eat one today. I miss these moments and being with you all. So yeah, Mother's Board, I did not forget. I got to figure something out mother's board and a couple of plus folks. So we'll figure that out sometime around getting close to Thanksgiving, maybe October before it starts getting too cold. That's it for me. Our next Black Java, No Sugar, No Cream is scheduled for Thursday, October 17th at 6 p.m. Yes. And don't forget, I will be at the Black Joy Summit next Saturday at Hibernian Hall. And I think that is it. So we're out of here. And again, it's 10:45. Y'all ain't slick. Y'all get an hour today for UCB members. And Milagro, that was funny. Ask Alexa. I'm out of here. Have a great day, everybody. I really love and appreciate you all. Keep our community in prayer. And as the old proverb says, when we pray, move our feet. As hopefully there are opportunities to engage community more and hear from community what the needs are. And if you find out about opportunities like that, engage and let them know what you experience, what you would like to see, what your ideas, suggestions are, and what your concerns are. But let the concerns and the complaints be 33% of what we're doing. And let the other 67%, let the other 67% consist of solutions and idea suggestions. So that's it for me this morning. Thank all of you for being with us. Again, we will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. here in the Java Cafe. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you soon. Peace.